Let's get it.
Let's get started. Well, hello and welcome everyone to our Microsoft 365 Champions community call. This is our October 2025 call. First and foremost, our digital event code of conduct, essentially be kind, be welcoming, and just, be assistive in creating this safe environment and welcoming environment for everyone. If you wanted to know more about what that is about, feel free to check out ak.ms/code of conduct. I do want to highlight here that if you have questions for any part of our call, especially for our speakers or our main topic, feel free to add it in the Q&A option. You can see that in that top bubble with the little question mark and the little, the two bubbles of the question mark. You can fill out your questions there. We'll also have Alice and her teammates be able to answer your questions on there, and we'll also bring it up for when we have live Q&A in the later part of this call. Alrighty, our agenda today, I'm going to go over some announcements. We have some top Microsoft 365 updates. We also have a slew of updates from Jesse from adoption.microsoft.com. And then our main topic today is collaborate within your team's channel using Loop Pages from our guest Alice. And then she is accompanied by Constance as well as Greg today. And we had Alan from this morning as well. And then first and foremost, our announcement today, we have in our Microsoft community space, we have the Copilot and OneDrive digital event. So digital event will happen this month in October 8th, and it was a really fun digital showcase of OneDrive's and it was of all the latest releases of OneDrive. This is the third annual digital showcase that they have done, but essentially it was really great, packed. You can watch it live on October 8th before or on demand now. And essentially, it showed you all the different tools within OneDrive as well as the different AI features that you could be using with a Copilot license. So feel free to check out ak.ms/OneDrive event to learn more about the event and catch up on what you could have missed. Next, Customer Hub. If you're not aware of what Customer Hub is essentially this live instructor-led training that's 100% free. And it is basically on the topic that of your choosing. For right now, I'm just displaying the Copilot page, and within Copilot, you can see you can have basically like the series of AI agents that you could possibly learn about, or you can learn about like a team series as well. But essentially, if you're part of like the learning sphere of wanting to live, instructor-led training, then you can do so at the class pace, or if you like to learn on your own on demand, those are actually all recorded, so you can also do so there. So you can visit ak.ms/customer hub sessions to sign up today for 100% free sessions. And then I'm going to bring on Jesse to talk about adoption.microsoft.com highlights.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see you. If you don't know who I am, I work on Caruana Gatumo's team. I am the content manager and curator of all of adoption.microsoft.com, fondly called AMC internally. Well, you'll hear us say that because, we love our acronyms. It's been a month since we last chatted. A few updates here. They look like there's not a lot of updates, but do keep in mind we make updates twice a week, if not more, usually twice a week for the sake of our own sanity. There's a lot of stuff being queued up for Ignite, so you'll see a lot more updates coming in the next 4 weeks or so. First things first, Microsoft AI Tour has kicked off. I think we're, a month in now about. I know all the resources live on GitHub. All the repos where the presentations, the learning guides, all the downloadable content, they're all in GitHub. Now, GitHub isn't the most user-friendly place to navigate. If you're really familiar with it, great, fantastic. You can find what you're looking for, but not everyone is. So what we've done is we pulled all the different sessions, their names, their breakout session numbers, all of it into one single landing page on AMC for you to be able to at a glance find all the different sessions that you might be interested in, and that takes you directly to the repo where all the resources are. So hopefully that helps make it a little bit easier to navigate and find what you need. So for the Frontier program, we uploaded a new Getting Started guide. If you don't know what the Frontier program is, it is an early preview, basically, program uh for any customer, any organization that wants to join. You have to join the program to get access to it. So that link on that second bullet should take you to the page that gives you all the information there. We have new pages for Dragon Medical One learning series. These are very specific to certain audiences because that they're only available in certain audiences. If I remember correctly, we got New Zealand, Australia, Germany, and France right now, and so those pages have just recently launched, and they've been updated a couple times since we launched them within this past month. We also just launched an Edge for Business adoption page. It's similar to all the other ones that we have on the website. It's a light microsite with a lot of not just adoption resources, but also some leadership stuff, technical training, technical documentation, all that good stuff. We've also updated the Azure AI Foundry page on the AI Agents Hub. If you haven't seen this yet, definitely check it out. I'm going to drop that link in the chat right now. AI Agents Hub. So this was a cross organizational effort to bring together Microsoft 365, Microsoft Copilot, which was sitting outside of Microsoft 365 at the time, and Azure to create a landing page for all AI agents resources, from implementation to training to how do I even get started. So I worked with folks of this giant V team to pull this together, and we are constantly trying to keep up with all the changes and make sure that we have the latest and greatest on the site. So check that out. There are different tabs on there. It's going to go under a big makeover update. Not, I shouldn't say makeover. It's just an update. Just, it's going to go under a major update for Ignite, really probably right after Ignite, if not right around January time. So, because we know there will be a lot of announcements coming at Ignite. Last but not least, Tiffany did mention the Customer Hub. If you haven't seen these, definitely go check it out. They're free instructor-led training. You get to ask a human being questions and not just watch something, self-paced. Definitely go sign up for those. They have sessions going constantly. And if you miss one, you can watch it on demand, of course. And all the presentations are there for you to download. As always, you can subscribe to our RSS feed or just read our release notes on the site. Back to you, Tiffany. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessie. She works tirelessly on all this adoption.microsoft.com content. And as we're heading into Ignite, which is our annual, one not largest, but very important conference for Microsoft annually, it just is working back to back. So definitely round of applause for Jessie for working so hard on adoption.microsoft.com to bring you all the latest updates for all these product pages as well as events. But first, in our Microsoft 365 updates, we have Microsoft Lists. If you aren't already aware, Microsoft Lists, the mobile app's retirement is in November 2025. That means as of a couple of days from now, it's officially retired, and as of last month, and currently you're actually no longer able to install the Microsoft List mobile apps from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Next month, it will be removed from both app stores, so you'll be seeing an error message when trying to open an app next month. So definitely want to make sure you all are aware of that. There is a mobile browser experience that's going to be available that you can be switching to, and there are some, features such as QR code scanning, image-based editing are supported in the mobile browser version. So just wanted to highlight about those key differences, and feel free to click on the link. This is PowerPoint Live, so feel free to click on the link on the screen to learn more about this update and what you should be doing next. Alrighty, within Microsoft Planner, definitely want to highlight this for our customers in GCC or GCC High. Essentially, the new Planner app in Microsoft Teams, both web and desktop, is available to customer in the government community cloud. Woot woot. I know a lot of our customers are in the government community cloud, always asking us, when is XYZ coming to GCC High, GCC? And usually I always give like a ballpark estimate about a year. Sometimes slower, sometimes sooner. But definitely something substantial like Planner Experience coming to GCC High for Microsoft Teams. Very, very happy to be able to tell you all that. So feel free to click on this link to learn more about how you can do this. But there's no migration required. And so everything's already in the new planner. All right, last but not least, my final update before I hand it off to our guest today is Copilot in Teams Agent and Channels is now in public preview. Myself and my teammates has been just trying out agents and channels. It's really, really cool. We can ask it to basically create a project plan for us to, collaborate together on our next latest project, our next latest release, having it basically, talk to us about status reports, about what each person is doing what, rather than us digging through different documents. So it's really, really helpful. You can also, I actually really like having meeting agents in my meetings to keep us on track, to ask them, hey, what did Jesse just say in the beginning of the meeting if I missed it something. So again, really helpful in these kind of contexts and helps me from having to take meticulous notes like I used to have to. So feel free to click on that link to learn more about how you can implement agents and channels. Alrighty, I'm gonna bring on Alice to talk to us through collaborating within Teams channels using Pages. And she has a lovely demo for us, and yeah, great personality as well. Hello, Alice.
Hi, nice to meet you all. My name is Alice, and I am the product manager who has been working on this new Pages and Channels experience. And today I am joined by my colleagues, Constance and Greg, who are also product managers, but they're on the Loop side, and they will be helping me address all of your questions. Just a reminder, please try to use the Q&A feature if possible, and that will help us make sure that we are addressing and seeing all of your different questions, and we hope to get to everything. And yeah, we are so excited to share this feature with you. The three of us I know love and use this feature on the daily in our day-to-day in our own work at Microsoft. And today I will walk us through the Pages and Channels, or walk through what Pages and Channels is, why we built this feature, and then hopefully show a demo. Next slide, please.
You can go ahead and take control.
Oh, I cannot find that button right now. But let's continue.
Okay.
So Pages and Channels are collaboration canvases that you can use directly through your Teams channel. Pages and Channels are powered by Loop Pages, so you can expect to find the same functionality that you might already be using through Loop Pages. For me, I use Pages often for project proposals, for brainstorming and for jamming, for project tracking, and for much more. Honestly, a lot of my work life just lives in Loop. Loop has features like tables and checklists that make working with different types of information very, very simple. You can access shortcuts such as formatting simply through the keyboard. So for example, for things like headings, code blocks, and quotes that I use all the time, it's very easy to access that through keyboard shortcuts. I personally love Loop because it allows me to really quickly get my content down without getting bogged down by organizational formatting choices. And it also allows me to be really flexible with working with different kinds of content. And although Loop Pages has existed for a long, long time, we are now adding the brand new ability to add pages as tabs to your Teams channels so that you don't have to leave the context of where you're already having these collaborative conversations with your teammates in order to jam on these pages. This means that you'll be able to create pages directly through your through your team channels. Or if you already have an existing Loop page, you can link it to the channel so that it's accessible as a tab. I'm sure many of you can relate to this feeling of constantly looking for different project resources or being asked where a certain thing might live. And with Pages and Channels, you can add the very most important pages as tabs to the header so that you and your collaborators can easily see them right at the top of your channel as tabs. Okay, let me try to take over and then hit the next string. Here, I see the take control button now. There. Awesome. So I want to walk us through just a few scenarios where you might consider using Pages and Channels to improve your own workflows. The first great thing about Pages that I want to highlight is that Pages can help you discover the content that is most relevant to a channel. So let me give you an example. Let's say you hear about this project, Project Phoenix, that your team is working on, and you are interested in learning a little bit more about it. You don't know anything about Project Phoenix, so you join the Project Phoenix channel on Teams to see if there's any information there, and you start typing the normal, like, hey, can anyone point me to where I can find more information on? But as you're typing, you see, oh, hey, there's a tab in the top of my channel, in the top of this channel that says Project Phoenix proposal. That sounds really promising. So you click on the Project Phoenix proposal tab and are able to learn very quickly about what this project is about. Similarly, on Discovery, let's talk about the flip side. So let's say on the flip side, you are a researcher at a company and your team offers research office hours where other people can sign up and ask research related questions in office hours. And frequently people will drop into your channel at least a few times a week and inquire about these office hours. And they ask the same question again and again and again, which is, hey, how can I sign up for research office hours? And you're very patient. Every time this happens, you will send them a link to a document that's titled How to Sign Up for Research Office Hours. Now with channel pages, your life is a little bit easier. You link this page on how to sign up for research office hours directly to your channel as a tab. And you can even highlight it even more and rename the tab and say, start here in all caps, how to sign up for research office hours, so that you know that people will see this document when they land on your page. This not only will save you from answering the same question over and over again, but it can also help those looking for information to reduce the time that it takes from having a question and getting that question answered, because now it's self-serve. Another amazing thing about pages and channels is that these pages can help you collaborate with your team in the context of your most relevant conversations. So let's say you're working on a set of Black Friday offerings for a clothing brand, and there is a channel dedicated to your Black Friday plan. In this channel, you are actively discussing whether to A, offer 50% off all of the socks that you guys have, or B, offer buy one, get one free. You've been going back and forth on these options now for several days. One day you tentatively decide, let's go with the buy one, get one free option. You circulate that, and the next day your CFO gives you feedback and says, hey, we should look at data from last year's performance and see if this is truly the most optimal. And so then you start collecting data, and then you go over and decide that maybe the 50% off option is better, which last year's data seemed to suggest would be great. As these decisions are being made every single day, going back and forth, you've created a page in this channel called Black Friday Sock Offerings that you are able to quickly update one click away from all of the conversation that's already happening. And every participant in the channel has easy access to this page, also one click away, and can see all of the decisions being made in real time, documented in a clear way. And I think all of that is pretty cool. And finally, I want to highlight that there's the seamless integration of the new pages experience into the rest of your team's experience. So you don't have to leave the app where your work conversations are already happening. Let's say in this last example, you're working on drafting a project proposal and you want to make sure that your manager has time to take a look through it. Directly in Pages, you can @mention your manager and they will receive a notification through their team's activity feed and to see that they were tagged. If they click on that, that will take them directly to that page. You're also able to copy a link directly to a tab in the channel, and when someone clicks on that, it'll take them to that tab in that channel. Next, I will show just like some of the simple features that exist in Pages. So here you can see that the access to adding a new page and adding an existing page is through this plus menu that's in the header. So by clicking on that plus, you'll see two options: one to add a new page, which will open a blank untitled page, or an existing page. And I'll show you more in the demo upcoming. This is what it would look like if you decide to add an existing page. You can just paste the link of any loop page and it will add that page as a tab. For browsing channel pages, you can see that all of the different pages that you create in a channel are available in the header. If there's not enough space in the header to show all of them, they go into this overflow menu. So you can see Fourth Coffee Project and postmortem files are in the overflow menu. And then finally here, you can see an example of what it looks like if you get tagged in a page, you'll get a notification in activity. In this example, Will had mentioned you. And by clicking on that, it will take you to that page where you were tagged. So a really nice integration that keeps you within the context of Teams. Next, I would do a demo. So before we go into the demo, let me set the stage. Another hypothetical. In this example, I am a manager of a design team. I frequently, as a manager, get asked questions like, hey, do you know who I should talk to for the designs for billing? Or how do I get in touch with a designer for digital content? And to help me answer these repeated questions, I've already created a Loop page that I've called a designer directory that contains all of this information, who the designers are on the team, what they've been working on, their office phone numbers, and all of that, so that I can easily answer any questions with this reference doc. And with the new pages and channels experience, I'm super excited that it will be much easier for me to share this information and keep this document updated. I want to make it a page in my channel because I want it to be easily discoverable by all of the channel participants, because I know that this is information that I keep getting asked about. So it's something that's very important to a lot of the people in this channel. It'll also be easier to share now because all channel participants can easily see it as a tab in the channel header. And when I do get a question here and there, I can just point people to the page in my channel instead of always looking up that link. It will also be easier to keep this doc updated because everyone who needs to keep the doc updated are the people who are already in the channel, and they can access it one click away, which just lowers the barrier to keeping it again updated. So now I will add this existing page that I already have to the channel. And so I go into where my tabs are and I click on this plus button, add a tab. You'll see that I have, again, two options. If I click on the new page option, it just opens an untitled blank page and I can fill it in with whatever information I would like. But since I already have this, I'm going to go ahead and delete this new tab and I'm going to add an existing page. As you can see, it found this designer directory page and I click confirm and ta-da! The page is now loaded as a tab into my channel. It is side by side with a conversation, so it's very easy to go boop, and I am right there. So in this hypothetical, my team is growing, and I actually hired a new designer, Megan, to join the team, and she'll be working on the browse experience. I want to edit this channel page with her information before I share it out with folks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new row, and I'm going to tag Megan. Here we go. And I'm going to write down her area of ownership, which is browse experience. I'm not sure what her office phone is or her upcoming out of office date, so I'm actually just going to tag her and ask her to fill that out. I'm going to say, Megan, can you please help fill out the rest of this row with the most accurate information? Oops, accurate. Thanks. And in doing this, Megan will get a notification through her team's activity, and when she clicks on it, she will be taken directly to this page. Finally, I want to share this page with the team and ask them to keep it up to date. I want to provide a little bit of context, so I'm going to send a brief message to the team as I share this tab out. I'm going to right-click on this tab and click Copy Link to Tab, then go into Conversation, and I'll type something like, hey, team, as we talked about, we want to try to keep the designer directory up to date with latest PTO information. Please utilize this page, and I will link that page to access that and update that information. Thanks. And when my team clicks on that link, it will take them directly into this page. And that is all I had today.
We are going to talk about the upcoming community events. Thumbs up if you can see this slide. So yes, our upcoming community events, right now we are in the Power Platform Community Conference. Currently it's October 28th. And it is being held in Las Vegas, Nevada. Various members of my team are on there, including Caruana, Heather, and others on my team. So feel free to go and, look up the sessions that they're in, go visit them if you are there right now. And then next we have Microsoft Ignite 2025, where we will actually be doing next month's call as a recap of Microsoft Ignite and all the different product releases and announcements. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully you'll also meet various members of my team there November 17th to 21st. It is going to be a hybrid event in San Francisco and online. And then last but not least, one of the bigger conferences that we are a part of is the European SharePoint Conference in December 1st to 4th in Dublin, Ireland. And that is where we will be in December. Are there any community conferences, Australia/New Zealand? That's a great question. You can actually find different sort of Microsoft events as well as a bunch of community-led events at communitydays.org. So you would go into communitydays.org and be able to search by city or by country and be able to find most of all our community events that are in your state or country there. So feel free to check that out. It is run by a very wonderful MVP called Tom Daly, and he is the creator of that page, but it is Microsoft supported. And yeah, so we have very many great people working on that website, combining all the different sort of community-led events as well as Microsoft events there too. Alrighty, if you're watching this on demand, feel free to drop your questions in our Driving Adoption event community page in the Microsoft Tech community so you can engage with us and our speakers. And if you have any questions, you could also reach us there. Before we open up for Q&A, want to remind you all, we have our call next month on Microsoft Ignite Recap. Make sure you come back to us so we can all basically review these releases together. And then you can also share your feedback with us at this link above where you can tell us what you'd like to see next, as well as your feedback on today's call. Join our Driving Adoption community so that you can ask each other questions, as well as get basically firsthand release and eyeballs on our blog where we will be releasing our Q&A as well as a short summary of our call today. And then last but not least, invite your colleagues to become a champion at aka.ms/M365champion so you can get a resource page full of basically our slide decks from every single call we've had. Not every, but I think starting like 2017 to now, we've had basically most of our historical decks that you can edit as you will and share within your own company or organization, as well as all our recordings historically. Thank you all for coming on to today's October Microsoft Champions call. We appreciate it, and we will see you next month in November. Thank you.